Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it is so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
All right, welcome into a Tuesday edition of the JP Peterson Show, and I believe the World Series Game 3 just ended. It just ended. The ball just cleared the wall. Freddie Freeman dancing around the bases after 18 innings. Oh, man, I was just begging to put a runner on second base at some point. No, I wasn't.
No, not doing that in the World Series.
Not. I thought about it. For a second. I thought about it. I'm like, really do want to go to bed at some point. I do want to. I'm trying to not. I hope you guys watched a little bit of that last night. Texting with TJ Rives, who will join us today. He said, I turned in my gun and badge at about 12:30.
Mistake.
I went, I went grudgingly part way through. I didn't get to the end.
Oh my goodness. I don't understand how you can do that.
Because, like, I don't know, there was a couple innings where nothing really happened. And then next thing I know, Tally's got to go out. She's licking my foot. But, oh my God. Somebody's selling me some type of vacuum cleaner on my TV. But other than that, it was a great night.
By the way, I love vacuum cleaner infomercials. It's like
they suck.
I freaking love that.
Can I get a little tune up? They suck. There we go.
Well, they're supposed to anyway.
Yes, they better suck. Yeah, that's the good thing. All right, we got a show that sucks today for sure. We will be hosting. Scott Reynolds will try to bring it out of the gutter at 10:30, and TJ Reeves will join us at 11:15 to finish us off. So there we go. And thank you, Petermans, for jumping in early and buying things from the merch store. We have a report of a first purchase, right?
Oh, we do?
Yeah.
Right. I can't wait to get an email about that.
Mike Gage said, I just ordered the Navy quarter zip and a Navy hat from the merch shop.
Mike.
All right. Thank you, Mike. Awesome. Let's go.
Love it.
I did watch the entire football game, though, last night. I did watch the entire football game last night, too.
All right.
And that was that got to be a little bit boring. I mean, Washington had a chance to kind of get into that game last night, and then just too many stupid mistakes. But in the end, the Chiefs are now at 5-3 now? They are now the odds-on favorites to win the Super Bowl. And
at 5-3.
Yeah, their defense is coming. Their defense is really, really good. They have a top 5 defense now. Rashee Rice is back. The only thing stopping them is perhaps giving him a set of keys. Other than that, I don't know what's going to stop the. Thank you. That's 2 in a row. I don't know who's going to stop this offense. And and I was thinking last night, I'm watching. I'm like, this is what the Bucs offense is supposed to look like. Multiple receivers who can win in man-to-man coverage, and a quarterback that if you play zone, he will absolutely destroy you with the tight end. There's no answers really to stopping the Chiefs at this point if they stay healthy, because all of their Rashee Rice, Worthy, all these guys are really, really hard covers in man-to-man. And if you go zone, then Kelsey's just going to run out there and find the open spot and catch 1,000 balls, and away they go. And the running game ain't bad either. So the Chiefs look really, really good. The Bucs, on the other hand, and yesterday Todd Bowles gave his kind of state of the midseason, which obviously was very short on details because it's Todd Bowles. But that's the way he does things. Did we find out if Luke Gedicke's coming back? No. Bucky No. Chris Godwin? No. We'll find out. We'll find out in 2 weeks when we hit the field. That's when we'll find out. Maybe next Wednesday we'll find out if those guys are out of practice. But until then, any injury news that you or anyone else thinks they deserve, you do not deserve, and you will not get. So that's that. So we have to just speculate. And if we're sitting here and speculating, we heard that Jalen McMillan is still not out of his neck brace. That, I'm no doctor, but that tells me you can't play contact football anytime soon. Bucky Irving, nobody has seen him except on Instagram with cryptic messages, I guess. So we don't know about him. Luke Gedeke, we have seen him walking around unencumbered. So I would think that maybe he can come back, and that might be the most important piece at this point. Because as I went back and watched the All-22 yesterday from the Buccaneers, and here's what you see. Nobody's open. Nobody's getting blocked. That's a bad recipe for offensive football. You can't block anybody. And although I will say the running game had, it had moments. There's no question it had moments. They were ripping off some 7 and 8 yard runs. But at some point you got to have some big plays, and those were pretty absent. The opportunities that Baker had, he didn't hit. And it was a slog offensively, except for that first drive in the second half. There wasn't much to talk about. Sean Tucker, I thought, did some good things and probably should have got some more looks. I don't know why they're so adverse to handing the ball off to Sean Tucker, because he's pretty good, especially in New Orleans. He likes that place. He had some really, really good moments. Rewatching the goal line stuff just absolutely blows my mind, but it tells me they have no confidence in any of these other receivers to get open. Because remember, in goal line situations, you got to be physical, and the defensive backs are going to be physical. Tez can't really operate in those spaces. He's too small. If wide open, moving him around so he can get off the jam, he's fine. He can get out. But when you get out to those spaces, now we're running fades to Emeka Egbuka and Sterling Shepard. What? Yeah, and that's not going to work. That's not going to work. I mean, still, you got Todd, you got Cade Otton, who's a big target in the red zone. You got Payne Durham, who's a big target. For whatever reason, Grizzard wasn't thinking about any of that. And those goal line sequences were dreadful, frankly. So this offense is really in a bad spot right now. It's in a bad spot because everybody knows exactly what I just said. And offensively, the offensive line, what the hell's going on with Graham Barton? I don't know. He is suddenly not a very good center and physically getting overpowered at times, which we did not see at all last year in his rookie season. So maybe he's hurt. I don't know. But there's a confidence break. I don't know. But there's way too many instances of him not doing his job and physically getting beat at the point of attack. And that was just not something we saw last year. So it tells me,
with the position changes and everybody shuffling along the offensive line, I don't know if you can say that should be expected, but certainly his comfort level has had to go down, right? With where he's playing and what's happening around him.
And somebody postulated yesterday, and I thought it was good, is that Cody Mauch is not there, and Cody would help him out a lot. And right. I have to go back and look at the film from last year to really dig into that. I don't remember seeing that, but they did those things. So yeah, I mean, maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. And it's interesting, when I was thinking about a couple of times that he gets beat, he keeps getting beat to his right, which is where Cody would be. So maybe from a technique standpoint, they're not, hip to hip like they should be in situations, and that might be more the right guard's fault. But to your point, it's, offensive line is an ensemble. It is a ensemble, and if one guy's not doing his job, the whole thing kind of breaks down. So yeah, and when you've got guys coming in and out, and got guys that aren't, very talented, or where we're to the level where you were at, it definitely changes things. And I think what happens is, when you get these injuries, you guys come in and they fill in. Okay, that's good. Now the other teams get the film, and they're like, "Ooh, this is there's a reason these guys aren't starters. They have weaknesses, and the weaknesses are seen, whether it's pass pro, whether it's in twists, whatever it is. People pick it up and are like, oh, that's why this guy's probably not a starter. So now you got to, each week you have to adjust and keep trying to hide your deficiencies as a play caller, as a coordinator in your game plans. And at some point you run out of answers. You just run out of answers. You can only use the smoke and mirrors for so long. And that's why we kept saying this is like they're banking wins with all this. This is insane what they're doing. And because we knew it doesn't usually go that way. And now we're seeing a lot of that. And so now you got, okay, now what do we do? Well, and this is what Brady always talks about, is the evolution of the season. You have to, teams get better or they get worse. They don't stay the same. And sometimes it's week to week because of the injuries. But great coaches are able to come up with game plans to hide your injuries and your deficiencies. And that's how you get better. You work on it. Okay, we're not a very good zone team. How are we going to get better? We're not a very good zone blocking team. What are we going to do? We're going to go to gap. We're going to do something else. What's the adjustment? What's the answer? This is why coaching is so critical. This is why the good coaches go far in playoffs and why other coaches don't, because they don't know how to make those adjustments on the fly or within a season. And, I think Bowles is pretty good at that. I think this staff is pretty good at that. We've seen that from the first half of the season. I mean, those games count too. And so you got 6 freaking wins, and you literally have had your C roster the entire season. Fair? Is that fair? Yeah. I mean, so you're 6-2 with your C plus roster in terms of availability, injury wise. But again, I would love to sit here and say, and I've said it many times, I can't wait till these guys come back and the schedule gets a little bit manageable. This is where they can really go on a run. And that's true, except the point that what we don't know is, are they going to get better? Are they going to get better? I don't know. If you tell me Bucky's coming back and J-Mac's coming back and Ibuka's getting more healthy and Chris Godwin's coming back, then I'm like, okay, we're good to go. We're good to go. But we don't know that. And I need Gedeke to get back, and, they got to find an answer at right guard. They put Feeney in there last week. Not great. Not great. So where are they going to go?
We're seeing the offensive line struggles that we thought we would see early in the season, with everybody hurt. And for some reason, they overperformed. They gelled quickly with the reshuffling. And now we're starting to see what we thought we would see earlier, with everybody out of place and the injuries and the backups playing and nobody knowing each other or being familiar with each other and things like that, which is odd for it to go in reverse, for them to backtrack on the performance this deep into the season. But what it tells you is that it's fixable, right? They've already done it this year. They've been fine. And there's something maybe that defenses are seeing that they're trying to take advantage of, that probably not every team, like the Lions, has the defense to do. Right. But there are things there that defenses are seeing that they're taking advantage of, and it's up to the Bucs to counter it.
Yeah, and so how do you counter it? Well, you bring up guys and you hope they can play to that level. Next guy up, right? Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. The other way is you make a trade. And that's where we're at right now with Jason Light. And my thought is we really need to make 2 trades. Inside linebacker, and I thought edge, but if Hassan Reddick is coming back, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And by the way, play Anthony Nelson. Can we just do that? Chris Braswell, thank you. Thank you for playing. Thank you for playing. But Anthony Nelson needs to get 50 to 70% of snaps when Hassan comes back. He's a player, and he has been for a long time. All he does is make plays. And again, Hassan Reddick was not playing poorly. Everybody wants 50 sacks. It's harder to get sacks in this game these days, unless you're Myles Garrett. And it's just more difficult, especially the way teams are playing against the Bucs with just getting the ball out quick, which most teams do. So I don't think edge, if Reddick is coming back, I mean, I'll take an edge. You want to go, not Max Crosby. We're not giving up 2 1s. When Trey Hendrickson, they want a 1 and a 2. I just don't think that's, especially for him, who might be just a rental, because you got to re-sign him. And I'm not re-signing Trey Hendrickson to $35-40 million. No, that's not worth it at his age, especially now he's got back issues. Yeah. So there aren't a whole lot of, but I know we can go find an inside linebacker. I know you can go find a wide receiver. And again, this goes to Jason Light knowing his team. Is Chris Godwin coming back? We don't know that. He does, or should have some reasonable expectation of knowing what that injury is.
I mean, you can say the same thing about Mike Evans.
Yeah, same thing about Mike Evans. I mean, I think at some point he can make it back if they go deep, and they should go deep into the playoffs. At least make the play. I mean 6-2 now in the rest of this division. If you don't win this division, I mean, geez, forget it. I mean, what's the point of anything? Because this division, these other teams aren't getting better as the season goes on. As they start getting key injuries like we've had, they don't have the depth and the superior leadership, especially at the quarterback position, to bring you along and bring everybody else along. They don't have that. So this is they should win this division going away. At this point, you're looking at you want to get a 1 or 2 seed, and you'd love to get that number 1 seed. So is that possible? Yes, absolutely. And I know. Are we as good as the Lions? I mean, we're not far behind. That wasn't obviously the Bucs' best effort, but again, this is a C+ roster at best. Now I know they had a lot of injuries as well. That game was, I think, a little bit closer than it looked in terms of the score. So anyway, I just think that it's time to make a move. If you're Jason Light, you got to make a move. You got to make a move. All right, let's. Do you guys want to?
But only if it's a good one. Don't make a move because you're pressured into making a move. Just find the right move and then make it happen if you can, but don't start sacrificing a bunch of draft picks that you don't have to. I would rather ride out and fix what you got if you can than overreact at whatever position you're looking at. Like, I don't care where it is.
We're not giving away 2 first-round picks or a first and a second,
for Trey Henderson.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a mid-round pick. These happen all the time at the deadline. Mid-round pick for a veteran inside linebacker. Mid-round pick for a wide receiver, a decent wide receiver who's on an expiring contract. These happen every year. And I'm saying let's make those moves. Now, and Jason Light covets those 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. I get it because he hits on them. But at this point, as we've said many, many times, you've drafted really well. You can afford some draft pick compensation to go out the door. If you can get a solid starter who can help you, especially an inside linebacker, you're playing so poorly there. Just an average guy is going to help your defense tremendously. And the same at wide receiver or guard.
How would you prioritize the positions in need from most?
I would say
desperate to least desperate.
Well, again, I need more information in terms of injuries. I need more information.
Sure.
So, but if I'm going by the assumption that J-Mac and Godwin will be back after the break, and Bucky will be back after the bye. J-Mac maybe week 10, 11, and Evans at the end of the year. I don't think wide receiver is a need. But if they're not, then yes, it is. Yeah. And inside linebacker, just without question. And if Reddick is coming back, which it looks like he will, then I think you got to kind of take edge off the board. Because if if he comes back healthy and you trade for an edge, where's everybody playing? And, depth is. Listen, if you can go get a Jalen Phillips or a Bradley Chubb or a Kayvon Thibodeau for a mid-round pick, hell yeah, I'd go get it regardless of what's going on with Reddick. But again, I think it would be better served to get. I would say inside linebackers number 1. Offensive linemen are very difficult to find. And good ones are very difficult to find. I mean, if we could find a right guard, I would love it. But, again, difficult. All right, let's get to some of the comments here, Bucs related, before we get to last night's baseball game. Mike H. says they used Sony Hawkeye last night to measure the ball to the line to gain. It came up 5 inches short. The official still spots the ball on the ground. So if it's a bad spot, the new system doesn't fix that. That is correct. And that was a bad spot. Yep. I thought that was a bad spot. I thought the far side camera showed clearly that there was it Kelsey? Who was it? One of the Redskins tight ends, I believe, was over the line, and I thought the spot was terrible, and it came up short, and it favored the Chiefs. Shocking development. Christopher Gold said, "Yeah, the spot of the ball was not correct." I agree. Good morning to you, John Hill. He said, Mike H. says, I thought the new system would help spot the ball, but it only measures from where the ball was spotted for the rep. That's the case. I would just rather have the old school chain gang go out there. Yeah, no, you still have to get a good spot. There's not like there's a chip in the ball and it's showing us like how far the ball moved forward. They haven't done that yet. Correct? I mean, I heard they were going to put a chip, and then I heard that there's not a chip in the ball. Is that correct?
There's no chip as far as there's no chip as far as I understand.
There should be. I don't understand why they're not using that technology, because that would and of course it doesn't matter again, if there's a chip in the ball, if the guy hits the ground and moves forward, scoots forward after his knees down, that's not going to help you. The chip's going to show that it went, how far he slid.
Right.
So that doesn't really help you unless you can track exactly, when the knee goes down, what is the chip saying?
You
Where's the
can't
ball?
tell me with all of these next gen AWS BS. By the way, I call that band name AWS BS. You can't tell me that there's not a technology that's at least close to existing where they can't track the ball in relation to where it is when the runner is down. Like to me, in my brain, that sounds really advanced, but so does all this other crap that they spend money on putting out there for these next gen stats. There has to be something that exists where you chip the ball, you chip the player, or maybe the technology inside the ball knows when the player hit the ground, or I don't know. I can't explain.
I would say this.
I know it exists.
These two mechanical idiots talking about what should I be. If you have multiple chips in the ball, all right, and I would say obviously at each end, right? I would think if you freeze frame a video, okay, because you could do all these things with video and superimposing things all over the screen with every ad that you can possibly think of.
Oh my God!
So you could say when you could freeze frame a video, it says, knee is down. Give me a spot. Show me a spot on the screen where the chip is in the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when that knee's down, so I freeze frame this video, where's the chip in the ball? And that should be the spot, right? So that seems like it's technology that would work, I guess, but who knows? Yeah. Right now, it's still a human issue. And these humans that are working NFL games are idiots. And it's really, really bad.
It's maddening.
Yeah. Danny Boy Kane says, good morning, gentlemen. Tim, I just wanted to give you a heads up. Thursday, I'm doing my latest podcast with my guest. It's a guy I think you know pretty well, Rich Phillips, the play-by-play voice of SMU.
I have known Rich Phillips since 1994.
Wow.
Sports Radio 1310, The Ticket, when he was just a ticker guy here locally. And he's a good dude. He's been on the call for SMU football and basketball. I don't know. I can't even count how many years. And by the way, talk about guys that go big that you worked with back in the day when we were all nothing. I mean, I'm still nothing. But Mark Followell, another guy that was a ticker guy at Sports Radio 1310, The Ticket here in Dallas, has been the voice of TV play-by-play guy of the Mavericks for going on 28 years now. So all these guys made it big except me, JB.
And here you are talking to me into a box.
Here I am doing a
Tampa show. Sorry about that. Nathan Elliott said, need defensive tackle. Want to see Reddick, Nelson, Diaby, Braswell, and others to feast at the edge position. Get Vita Vea some help in the middle. Crush an offensive line. But again, defensive tackles are highly coveted commodities. Those are not guys that you get for mid-round picks. And you got Cansey coming back last year, who you have a first-round pick invested in. So that just, and I would, and Nathan's next retort is, he's always injured. You are correct. But you cannot base strategies on if a player might be injured in terms of personnel decisions. You just can't because you got to spread out your resources. Nathan Elliott says one member of the cast of Good Morning Football said the Panthers are going to win the NFC South.
Please tell me which member of the cast that was. Nathan
Who was
Elliott.
that?
Who said
Who
that?
was that?
Was it Manti Te'o? That sounds like something Manti Te'o would say.
Was it Sherry Burst? Who said that? Yes, she does.
Did she ever have her baby?
Man, did you really say that?
Well, I mean, she's not like regular cast, right? She just does like the little sports.
Good Morning Football overtime. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Mr. King says there are chips in the ball as of 2017. What are they using them for?
Potato chips?
Yeah, what are they using them for?
Potato chips in the ball.
If there's been a chip in the ball since 2017, what are they using them for? Is that to, I don't know. Because the player's speed, I thought they used the jacket vests for those things. The GPS. I don't know. First name greatest said Light is not making a trade, just not the Bucs years with injuries. They'll still win 10 games in division, just not a playoff game. What do you think about that?
So you're saying they're going to win the division and go out in their first game, whether it's wild card or division, like they're just not going to do anything? I mean, I think you have to figure out who they're playing first and then make that prediction.
Yeah, I think, again, what do we know? If Light knows that Bucky's not coming back and Godwin's not coming back and J-Mac's not coming back, then you're right. Yeah, you're right. But other than that, nah. Yeah. Mr. King says that's for the stats. Well, it's for the stats. Why can't they use it to mark the ball? That's crazy. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back on the other side. Hopefully I won't be frozen anymore. We shall see.
Oh, you are frozen.
I'm frozen. I've been frozen for quite some time. So we'll hopefully correct that. My computer's being wonky this morning. It's wonky.
You guys, JP just found out what a task manager is on his Windows computer.
Well, I still don't know what it is. You just told me about it. I still don't know what it is or how to work it. That's why I'm frozen, according to IT manager Tim.
Yeah.
We are brought to you by the Jeeves Law Group, JEEVES lawgroup.com. They are local, they are trusted, and they get results. They have offices in St. Pete and Tampa, not just offices. Scott Jeeves actually goes to these offices and meets with clients on both sides of the bay. So that is where you need to go. If you get involved in an accident or you need any legal advice, they will give you a free case evaluation at JeevesLawGroup.com. And Genesis of Tampa, no payments until 2026 if you buy a new car at Genesis of Tampa. How about that? That's for your holiday shopping pleasure right there. You can use that money to go buy me gifts. That's what you need to do. Genesis of Tampa, go see the incredible coupes and SUVs there of Genesis. They are fantastic, and they are great value. The price, the technology, the comfort, the luxury, off the freaking charts. GenesisofTampa.com. Back in 3 with Scott Reynolds, Pewter Report. Experience the art of driving at Genesis of Tampa, where luxury meets innovation and every detail is crafted for you. From the bold G70 to the refined GV80, Genesis delivers power, elegance, and technology years ahead of its time. Book service online, and our Genesis Experience advisors will pick you up and drop off your vehicle. If available, you can enjoy a courtesy car while yours gets a complimentary interior vacuum plus a generous offer for your trade. Every new Genesis comes with the Miracle Advantage Plan, 10 years or 250,000 miles of powertrain warranty and 4 years of complimentary maintenance. Visit us at 801 East Bears Avenue or online at genesisoftampa.com. Genesis of Tampa, luxury redefined. Italiano Insurance would like to congratulate the Bucs on their 50th anniversary season. And you know what? We've been here for every season and then some, over 60 years in business. We've seen some smart coaches with great game plans, but if you don't have flood insurance or business insurance, that's a terrible game plan. That could ruin you financially. You don't want to take that L. So call 813-877-7799 and let their friendly agents quarterback your insurance and save you big money. Italiano also sponsors our FSU report every week. So go Noles. 813-877-7799 or go to italianoinsurance.com. JP here for Riveters, our new official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. And just like our show, no BS, no corporate chain feel, just amazing, authentic folks serving great comfort food in a casual atmosphere at unheard of prices. Riveters is located just south of Raymond James and Steinbrenner Field on Dale Mabry, walking distance to the park. So free parking, great place for pregame and postgame. Let's talk about fresh food. Nothing is frozen. Burgers, wings, prime rib, roasted fresh daily, never frozen. That makes a huge difference. The mahi, the salmon, also super fresh. All our sauces are original recipes made in-house. Our Warhawk chili and fully loaded potato soup is made fresh in-house. It's the best food anywhere, served by people who actually care. Riveters on Dale Mabry, just north of 275, just south of where the Bucs and Rays play. We'll see you there. Are you looking to renovate your home, rebuild after the hurricanes, or build your dream home from scratch? Well, let me tell you about my friend Jason Fawcett and On-Site Construction. They have over 1,450 satisfied clients, 25 years of experience, over 500 designs, and a talented team of over 40 construction professionals. They believe building something exceptional begins by truly focusing on all the details, even the smallest ones. We understand that construction can be a daunting process, and we're here to make it as smooth and stress-free as possible. Quality is non-negotiable at On-Site Construction. We use the finest materials, employ the most skilled tradespeople, and adhere to the highest industry standards to deliver a product we're proud of and that you're going to love. Our project management is meticulous with a focus on completing projects on time and on budget. Your happiness is our primary driver. So give us a call at 813-579-5789 or check out our incredible website at onsiteconstructionfl.com. Are you having legal issues with a business partner or other legal business issues? The attorneys at Walters, Levine, and DeGrave can help. Call 800-616-0384 for a free consultation. At Walters, Levine, and DeGrave, we've redefined what a law firm can be with top-tier attorneys, personal service, and 26 years of success. From business law to civil litigation, we deliver smart, client-focused solutions. Walters, Levine, and DeGrave recently won a $6.4 million jury verdict from a large real estate developer, and they can win for you too. Walters, Levine, and DeGrave. Let's solve it together. Not attorney spokesman. For a free consultation, call 800-616-0384 or go to walterslevine.com. Offices Tampa, Sarasota.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
Oh, well, I guess welcome back to the JP Peterson Show right here on FanStream Sports. I'm IndyCar Tim. JP has left the building, apparently, as we are on a Tuesday, and I see Scott Reynolds in the room, which means it's time to talk some Bucs. It's time to talk some NFL officiating with our good friend, Scott Reynolds. Scott, do you have us?
I do. We don't need JP. We can just do the show, Tim. We're pros.
That's right. We've done this before. Well, not together, but we've done this before.
Yeah.
JP's having computer issues. When we moved into the new studio, a little backstory, we got him a new computer, and he's like,
new computer, old man. That's not a recipe for success.
I don't think he knows how computers work. He was not familiar with how to close programs and things like that. And
so my last text from JP a second ago was, yes, my computer is wonky.
Yeah, wonky. That's a technical term that we use to JP.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, we don't need JP to do this.
We don't
Scott.
need JP.
So he had on the run sheet here that you wanted to talk a little, or maybe he wanted to talk some NFL refs and what was wrong with them, and some Bucs and all sorts.
What was wrong with them? They were born. That's what's wrong with them.
Oh.
Those officials were born. That's where the problem started.
Well, JP's here. Look who we got.
Hey, there you go.
Sort of. I don't know how long I'll be hanging out.
All right,
but I'm
there
back. Yeah. Yeah, I heard your profanity laced tirade.
I usually don't do that.
Of which I did one last week as well.
Yeah.
I couldn't help myself. And
it kind of spilled over. I was dropping some S-bombs yesterday in the show, and it just comes out when the officials bring it out in me.
Did you have a Winfield bet? Winfield to score a touchdown?
I did.
Bet?
Absolutely. $5 bet that would have been $255. It's the same bet I placed on Winfield last year against New Orleans in his first game back, and won me $255. Yeah. So I figured, why not do it again? And then I thought, okay, well, like I got screwed on the scoop and score. Oh, look, there's a pick six. I'm high-fiving Ashley. I'm like, cha-ching, money, and then the official said, not today, Satan. So
yeah. I mean, we can start there. Both of those calls, or three of the calls. Yeah. I mean, it's beyond. One of them was kind of close. The other two weren't. The first one, the erroneous whistle.
On the scoop and score, right.
What exactly is an erroneous whistle?
Well, it's a whistle that
wasn't blown.
It's a whistle that was blown and shouldn't have been blown. So it's a bad whistle, right? Naughty whistle.
But there was no whistle.
Well, there was no whistle, exactly.
Nobody heard a whistle, so it wasn't erroneous. It was actually
it was non-existent. It was
non-existent
a
whistle,
phantom whistle, right?
Yes.
So that was what it was. And again, what pissed me off, and listen, I cleaned up on that game. I won lots of money on prop bets. I picked. I mean, it was like Bucs minus 3.5. I'm like all in on that, right? So I made money. Don't feel sorry for my wallet after the game.
Yeah,
because of the missed $255. It was only a $5 risk for me, so no biggie. But what really pissed me off is when I was thinking about this for a second, just the chain reaction of this. What that denial meant for Antoine Winfield Jr. I'm expecting Anthony Nelson to win the NFC Defensive Player of the Week award, and he should, right? He should win that. But as good as his game was, if you have 2 defensive touchdowns on a pick 6 and a scoop and score,
you win.
Sorry, Nelly.
You win. Yes.
Winfield gets that award. And what does that do? All of a sudden, those highlights are now valid. They show up on ESPN. They show up all over social media because they count.
That's right.
And they show up on his football card, right? They show up on his stat sheet at the end of the year when it comes time for Pro Bowl balloting. Ask Rondé Barber what those 13 non-offensive touchdowns meant to his Hall of Fame career, right?
Everything.
Exactly.
Huge.
And so Winfield already has 1. He got that last year against the Saints. If you put 3 on his football card now with, 6, 7, 8 years to go,
right?
Who knows how many he gets? But the thing is, he's made 1 Pro Bowl, 2021. He got jobbed and robbed in 2023, right? When he was the best safety in the NFL. Now, he did make the first team All-Pro, which you would say is a higher, better distinction than the Pro Bowl. But what do they do when your career is done and they evaluate? And when I say they, I mean, the media members in these big markets, Philly, New York, LA, all these bigger market teams, Dallas, they look at a resume. They look at what a player did in his career. Did you get a ring? Oh, you did. 2020. All right, check.
Right.
How many? And then what's the next one? Pro Bowls. How many Pro Bowls did you make? Right. And that's what, that's what kept Rondé Barber from getting in earlier. It kept John Lynch from getting in earlier. Mm-hmm. When you have like 13, like Derek Brooks did, your first ballot, right? I mean, that's just it. But that's the wall that Levante David's going to be running into. That's the wall that Simeon Rice is hitting too. Yeah. So the more Pro Bowls, the better. And if this ultimately costs him a Pro Bowl season, that could have long-term ramifications on his Hall of Fame candidacy. Yeah. And then for the Bucs franchise, that's potentially 1 less Hall of Famer you have in there from a posterity stake, right? So that's what pissed me off. And who knows if he probably has Pro Bowl incentives. It's probably costing Antoine Winfield Jr. more than the $255 it cost me.
Yeah, when you go to get contract, those are the things your agent brings up. They're big deals. They're big on so many levels. And then let's just, and the biggest reason, credibility of the league. The credibility of the league is going down the toilet, especially with the NBA situation. Yes. And that's just going to get worse.
Look out, NFL. You don't think that's coming to you?
Hell yeah, it is.
You don't think Cash Patel and the DOJ are you think the NFL is untouchable? We're like, oh, we're going to look at baseball. We're going to look at the NBA. We're not going to look at the NFL. Contraire, mon frere.
Oh yeah, and there's just and the situations that are happening across the league, and this one, I think more absolutely is the poster child. Not only did you get it wrong, in the moment, then you huddle together. The whole process is so freaking It's just not legit, and you know that the head referee Ron Torbert has a direct connection to quote New York. I hate this freaking anonymous
I do too.
Freaking thing. Nobody's name, no anything. It's just New York, and they huddle up. They do that stupid. Why are you huddling? Right. What just happened is plain as day. It's plain as day. Why are we huddling? You don't need to huddle.
So
and then you say there's a whistle. And then you play the audio. Thank you, Fox, for doing that. Right. There is no whistle. Yeah. It's not erroneous. Yeah. It's not. You know what it is? It's made up. You made up something out of
a mystery whistle.
And it never happened. Everybody's running down the field. Nobody stopped. No official is running in with his hands like this. Right. You don't see any of that. You just made that shit up.
You did. And here's what gets me, JP, because what is the purpose of instant replay? Like, what is the stated goal?
To get it right.
To get it right. Okay. And we often remember that I don't think any of those officials, are the supreme being. I don't think any of them are Jesus Christ reincarnated. No. Okay. Right. So they, like all of us, are imperfect human beings, right? We have to start there. We get things wrong sometimes. We make mistakes. We're not infallible. Having said that, I think the intention of things like instant replay and generally officials do want to get it right, because nobody wants to get raked over the coals on social media by millions of people, right? I mean, generally speaking, the goal should be to get it right. Okay. Let's sometimes not look at the letter of the law and say, what was the context? What was the intent here? Right. My whole thing is with technology and with frigging New York, whoever New York is, go back and review that situation and say, we reviewed that play, and one of the officials apparently allegedly blew a whistle, but it was on the other side of the field. And when we reviewed the play, the ref that was closest to the play was running down the field, right, getting ready to signal touchdown. None of the Saints players stopped. So, and the integrity of the play was not interfered with at all, despite the erroneous whistle. So we're going to call it a touchdown. That's what should have happened. Like that, that is the right call. And when I mean right, I mean like the justice right, right? That is the justice right. The other thing that really pissed me off was like if two guys are going for a ball, and here's my analogy when it comes to the pick six, which I also thought should have been a legal pick six play. Yeah. Take away Chris Olave. If Antoine Winfield Jr. dives to make an interception and the ball doesn't hit the ground, which it didn't, and he gets up, he can run. This is not college. He can run for a touchdown. Right. And if you go back and look at that play, Antoine Winfield Jr. is literally going for the ball. He and Chris Olave kind of catch the ball at around the same time. Right. He rips it out of Olave's hands. And in doing so, what is your natural instinct? To get away from the offensive player, right? To snatch it away and then to get away from him so you're not touchdown. By the time that Antoine Winfield Jr. had possession, that's right, because until he has possession, he doesn't possess the football. You can't touch him down. You can't. It doesn't matter if he's touched or not, because he doesn't have possession of the ball. Right. When he has possession of the ball by himself, he pulled it out of his hand and literally fell away from Chris Olave. Chris Olave's body did not touch Antoine Winfield Jr. when Winfield was on the ground. That's a clear, easy effing replay. Yeah. Okay. Like, he was not touched down. No. Okay. And Chris Olave didn't cause him to be down. Right. Antoine Winfield Jr. elected to dive for the ball, rip it away, and then roll away from Chris Olave, so he wasn't going to get touched down. So in no point in time did Chris Olave have anything to do with Antoine Winfield Jr. being on the ground. Right. So how in the world can you say he's down by contact? That's an absolutely, bullshit call. Seriously. It is. And it's not hard to make. It's not hard to make. It's not. And if you are a conspiracy theorist, and I happen to be, and I'm usually right. Yeah. In the end. Isn't that funny how that works? Yeah. You'd say, well, why are all these calls going in a certain way? Yes. Well, because the NFL is definitely desirous to have close games. There's no question about that. That brings ratings up. That brings them more money. Bad blowout games ratings go down. Yeah. It's less and depending on the ratings is what advertisers pay. Yeah. So there's a direct correlation to having entertainment. This is why WWE scripts everything. That's right. To make sure you stay tuned in and have drama. Right. And somebody in the NFL office said, well, damn, why don't we do that? It's not always good guy wins in the WWE. And then, of course, connected to the gambling ramifications, where 74% of the money was on the Bucs to cover this game. Yeah. Well, clearly, when the Saints did not cover, the sports books took a bath. Who are in bed, who are now partners with the NFL. Yeah. Exactly. And you know what? Shame on you, Vegas, for making the line 3.5. I mean, 6.5. I would have been like, Came down to 3.5. Okay. Yeah. Started at 5.5 and came down to 3.5. Yeah. Because all the smart money went on the Saints. Yeah. And that's why they were trying so hard. I know. To fuck the Bucs. Yeah. You can't help but think this stuff. If they were small, especially on the heels of an NBA coach and player and former player getting arrested, right? With mafia ties in terms of sports rigging and illegal gambling. Okay. And here's the thing, Scott. All three of us
have been watching this game for 40, 50 years.
Yes.
And we know what we're seeing.
Yes.
And now you're literally saying you're pissing on my leg and telling me it's raining. And
Exactly.
I'm like, I'm not going to accept that.
Yes.
I'm not a lemming. I can think for myself. I can see for myself. And you guys are blowing calls. I mean, it's so obvious what's happening here. And people are like, oh, come on. There's too many people involved.
Here's two other pet peeves I have. Number one, for the NFL, which is a multi-billion-dollar enterprise, okay, to not sit there, and I thought Matt Matera made a really good point on our Pewter Report podcast. Everybody says, well, like, there should be full-time officiating. And my whole thing is like, all right, when you have like a game a week, like what do you do the other days, right? But you treat it like a job. You go back and you watch every single call, like together, right? Like on a conference call, whatever. And you go through this. And, and it kind of like dawned on me what he was saying that, because remember the Jets game? Like there was like 12 penalties in the first quarter alone on both teams. Yeah. Like it was a flag fest. Every other play was a flag. It was awful.
They got all the reviews wrong.
Yeah. Right. And then like the next week, it's like they just let them play.
Do whatever the hell you want. Right. Yeah.
So I was thinking with Matt, like, all right, Matt, that makes a lot of sense. To try to have consistency from crew to crew. That's huge, right? There shouldn't be, and you hear from Todd Bowles, yeah, we know which crew we're getting this week. We've already talked about it. They're going to be calling everything, so we got to be,
that shouldn't be
any of that. Yeah. It should be these monolithic crews that just come in every week and they call the game the way it's supposed to be called, right? Just like, either a nice mix of let him play and call the egregious stuff, right? Like that's how it should be. Yeah. So I agree with Matt on that. And it's a shame on the NFL for like having insurance salesmen and attorneys and stuff during the week. And then they fly in and they moonlight as an official. It's just embarrassing. And then the second thing is I'm sorry, it's 2025. And I understand what the First Amendment is. The First Amendment protects citizens, speech rights against the government, right? So and the NFL is not a government, although it acts like one. It tries to be, right? Maybe not a government, but like a dictatorship with King Goodell. But my whole thing is like the fact that these part-time officials, these part-timers, are given more protection and what's the right word? Affection from the league, right? If there were no players, there'd be no league, right? There'd be owners wouldn't make money because it's a player-driven league. And then to have good players, you need good coaches, right? You need systems, and there has to be, the Jimmies and the Joes win the game, but the X's and the O's are pretty important too. So for the NFL to side with the officials and say, oh, they can make whatever calls they want, but they're not going to get fired in season.
Nope.
We're not going to fine them.
No accountability.
And you can't talk about them.
Right. You can't talk about them.
You can't talk about them.
You get fined if you talk about them.
You get fined if you do. Meanwhile, players get fined if they mention the refs, bad calls or whatever. Same with coaches. Players can get cut or benched in season. Yeah. Coaches can get fired or demoted in season.
Well, what is this telling you, though, Scott? See, I think you're looking at this all wrong, with all due respect. And they could easily pay these officials.
Of course.
By the way, they do spend a lot of time. Most of these guys that are lawyers, I know a lot of lawyers that don't do a whole lot of work.
Yes.
They're partners in the firm. They don't ever go to work. Exactly. This is what most of these guys are. Yeah. And they spend a lot of time doing this. They want a narrative that they're not full-time officials so they can keep fucking around with stuff.
That's true.
Oh, well, our officials. So that's why they'll never be. They want that narrative.
Right.
Oh, we don't have full-time officials. They're going to make
therein lies the flaw. You're telling on yourself if you're the NFL.
But they could have transparency in within the call and show it to us and listen to us. They don't want that. They could have full-time officials, but they don't want that.
Right.
None of this is by luck. It allows all these narratives to just say, we're doing the best we can while we're controlling the games.
But you're not.
No, they're doing, and they're leaving it all up to interpretation. People like us with the lack of transparency and the lack of accountability, and that tells me one thing: you're cheating. You're manipulating. This is why you're doing it. I mean, if I look around the world and see all the similar circumstances, that's why they're doing these things, so they can control it. These games are not left to pure chance, folks. I got news for you. They're not. And all of this evidence now is overwhelming to suggest that. They could put a stop to all of it if they want to, but they don't want to because they want to keep controlling the game. All right, let's get back. Let's get back to the Bucs.
Sure.
I started, with my monologue that this offense right now is just because of all the injuries it's dead in the water. Because all the smoke and mirrors that we've used for the first 8 games, everybody's figured that out now. Mm-hmm. They know exactly how we're covering up, and they're addressing it. You don't have guys that can get open because you're down to your 4th receivers. You don't have guys that can really block because this offensive line has been, the misfit toys the entire year. And Baker's banged up. Boy, do they need the off week. Yeah. So
they do.
How do you fix it? How does it get better? Is it just simply hoping that these guys come back to play?
No, it has to be more than that because you can't control when Bucky Irving is going to come back or Luke Edeke or Chris Godwin, right? Their bodies will control that. So you hope that against the Patriots, 1, 2, 3 of those guys come back, but you don't know. And Todd Bowles and Josh Grizzard, they don't know right now, right? There's a healing process. It's not healing is an event. I'm sorry, healing is a process, not an event, right? Like it takes time.
And it's unpredictable.
Having said that, when you look at Josh Grizzard, he needs the bye week just as much as anybody, not for the headache that he has for not having, a full arsenal of bodies. I think half of his projected starters are out, right? So he's been having to kind of piecemeal this thing together and done a really good job. But this is a great week for him to self-scout. Yeah. It's a great week for him to kind of step back from the chessboard and kind of instead of looking at the micro, look at the macro approach of things, and also to get an early jump on a very feisty up and coming Patriots team. The Patriots this year, kind of like the Commanders last year, right? It's all of a sudden they're that kind of out of nowhere Cinderella team. And Drake May is playing fantastic football. He's not as dynamic as Jaden Daniels, but he's kind of like this year's Jaden Daniels, just a year later. And so this is a really good football team that they're playing. And all of a sudden, everyone's like, well, it's going to be cake after the bye week. Not really. Get the Patriots at home. Then you have to go out to the Bills, Josh Allen up there at Orchard Park. Then you have to go out to the Rams on Sunday night. So these next 3 games are going to be as challenging as that Eagles, Seattle, 49ers game was, or, throw
that whole stretch
as well. Yeah. So it's going to be very challenging, but I think it's going to be a very good week for Josh Grizzard to really reflect on some of the mistakes that he made.
Great point.
And really kind of be able to reset some things. And I will say this, I think Josh is a very bright guy. He's a quick learner. And you know what? I know some fans are raking him over the coals for all of the 1-yard runs, up the middle. Yeah. My whole thing is, listen, if I had Tristan Wirfs and Ben Bredesen and Graham Barton, 2 first-rounders and, a pretty good guard there, I'm trying that every time. And I'm just saying.
Not every time.
No, I am.
Not every time.
I am. No, I am. Behind those guys, I am. I'm saying get a yard or give me your man card. It's that simple. Give me a yard or give me your man card.
If you're going to devote 11 guys, defenders, to that box, and you're going to keep running into it.
Well, hold on. There's a caveat. There's a caveat. There's a caveat. You tried 13 personnel a couple times. It didn't work. All right. I do not like throwing the fade to anybody but Mike Evans.
I hate that play.
I mean, at first I'm thinking old man Shep at 5'10" against Coolidge and Kinstry. That's not good. I understood all right, well, hey, we had the wrong receiver, and let's go with 6'1" Emeka Ibuka. That's a better option, but still not the ideal option. But my whole thing is this: and those goal line plays seemed a little Dave Canales-esque to me, right? Remember the problems that the Bucs had in 3rd and short is he would take the tight ends that couldn't block, and K. Dotton was not a very good blocker back then.
Yeah, right.
And jumble everybody up. We're going to go 13. We're going to ram it in there with tight ends that don't block very well. And all that does is just compact the defense. Your job as an offensive lineman is to blast a hole, to create a hole. But when you're at 0 splits and everything's bunched up in there and you have a defensive line that's submarining under you, there's no hole to be had. So my whole thing is what I would have done after a first couple of pounded in there. Okay, it's not working. We've tried Rashad. We've tried Sean. Now what I do is I take Sean Tucker and I do one of 2 things. I try that little toss and have him run behind, Tristan Wirfs. That worked for Rashad White for a touchdown in Seattle. It worked for Sean Tucker. And just say, Sean, we're pitching it to you. Run as fast as you can to the pylon and stick it in. Like that probably would have worked. If not that, and I don't understand why coordinators don't do this more often, go 4 wide. And when I say wide, I mean wide.
Spread it out.
Spread them out. Make them get into nickel, right? And then say, Sean Tucker, you're going to have one-on-one with DeMario Davis. And you go where he isn't, and you go faster than he does.
I don't get that. It's like, why do you compress everything in the goal line?
Yeah.
And bring everybody in?
Yeah. Or what I do in that situation is I go shotgun, right? I go 4 wide, and I put Rashad White in there, or maybe Dan Feeney, and I just run quarterback draw right behind my lead. I don't know why they're not at the half-yard line. Why you're not sneaking Baker Mayfield? I know he's hurt, but Well, the reason why is A, he's hurt, but also B, they didn't get anything. They didn't get inches on any of those,
but
right?
If you're doing a quarterback sneak correctly, you can find a little spot and get over the line. It's not that. It's not
hopefully,
that
yeah. So I don't know. At the end of the day, I think Josh is going to learn from the mistakes in these last 2 games. And the best thing about this is he has a head coach in Todd Bowles that will come in and sit down with him and watch film, and then also say, as a defensive coordinator, this is how I'm attacking what you're doing, and just give him that immediate perspective right there on the spot, and say, okay, well, Josh, this looks great, but if all of a sudden they shift to this particular coverage, they roll coverage this way, what's the can? Like, what's the audible to that? So just really, I give Todd Bowles so much credit for rapidly developing Dave Canales, Liam Cohen, and Josh Guizard as play callers. It is really the secret weapon over there at One Buck Place to have a head coach that's a brilliant defensive mind that can sit in those offensive meetings and know that, hey, Larry Foote and George Edwards, they got the defensive meeting. I'm going to work in with my rookie offensive coordinator, get him going, get him up to speed.
Super smart. And just a hats off to the defense and Larry Foote for that performance last week. And they just keep getting better and better and better.
The sacks are coming. The takeaways are coming on defense.
And they're healthier, the defensive backfield. That helps.
This is right where you want them to be. And this was what was missing last year, the splash plays, the takeaways, the aggressive pass rush. And now we're seeing in games where the offense doesn't really play that well, doesn't execute, maybe doesn't show up, the Buccaneers are winning a game like that. Where last year, the defense did not wear the superhero cape at all. Last year, it was offense that just had it from week 1 on. And now it's a shared superhero cape, and everyone's a superhero. So this is complimentary football. This is the type of team that you can win a championship with. Yeah. Got to get better in certain areas, got to get healthy. But
to that point,
the ingredients are there.
Does Jason Light seize upon this 6-2 start, a rare 6-2 start, and a bedrock of a good roster to go out and make some moves? Give up a draft pick or 2 for God's sakes. It ain't gonna kill you.
Yeah, it depends on who and for how much. That's the whole thing. And it's like it's so easy to do these trades when we're playing Madden, right? With the controllers sitting there and I'm going to make this trade and all that. But it's not that easy in real life. And I think that the 2 most intriguing names are already off the board, right? Trey Hendrickson and Max Crosby. They're not going to get moved. And so then it's like, then you're looking at who's left. All right, Bradley Chubb, Jalen Phillips. Well, both these guys are first-round picks. Their next contract, it's going to be rich and lucrative. You better like or / love these guys if you want to have them on your roster going forward. And what I mean by that is after this year. Mm-hmm. And given their injury history, I mean, Phillips has an ACL that cost him almost a season, and then an Achilles. Bradley Chubb's had 3 ACL injuries. So I don't know. Neither one of those guys.
Hopefully they're cheaper.
For me.
Well, they're cheaper because they're damaged. It's like a car with an accident.
Well, yeah, but I mean, the draft pick compensation will be like a late day 3 pick probably.
Right.
But
exactly.
What I'm talking about though is the next contract, the next, because these guys are in contract years or whatever. And then it's like, are you going to give up a draft pick to rent a player? The problem for Jason Light now is that 5th round pick is Elijah Roberts. That 5th round pick is Zion McCollum. That 5th round pick is Servatier Dennis. That 4th round pick shoot, that's Bucky Irving, or that's that's Cade Otton. Your 7th round pick, that's Tez Johnson.
I get it, but they don't hit him every year
right now.
Yeah, but the majority of those picks are not hits, and I know they've had great success.
Don't tell Jason that.
I know, but
for God's sake, do not tweet that out. Okay, don't tweet that out, because next April he will be like, putting some stuff out there.
Well, and also, if you can get me a bona fide edge rusher that stays healthy for the rest of the year, and there's no guarantee of that, obviously, especially with those guys you just mentioned, but that can come in and help this team. To me, it's worth the risk. To me, it's worth everything has a risk and reward. To me,
are you saying Anthony Nelson's not going to get pick sixes and sacks every week?
By the way, why the hell has this guy been playing 30% of the time? Scott, I've been talking about him for years, and you know this.
Yeah.
I'm like, this guy, all he does is freaking make huge plays when he plays. And we're constantly looking for other people. He's 6'7".
Yeah.
He's 265, 70 pounds.
He's a heady guy.
He's he's a coach's son.
Yep.
And part of it's because he's probably, whatever. He just doesn't get respect.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. He's a good player. He should win NFC Defensive Player of the Week this week. He should get some respect. That's for damn sure. Yeah.
I don't know. It's just some guys in coaches' minds, they just look at him and they go, yeah. But
I will say this. I mean, he had more production in one half than you had from Hassan Reddick in half of a season. So,
and JTS in 6 years, who he sat behind for 5 years.
For sure.
I mean, and that to me is the biggest joke. Like that guy constantly took snaps away from Anthony Nelson, who just makes plays and is always in the right place at the right time.
Right.
So, I mean, Light's been good, and obviously the Buccaneers have been great, but they're not perfect, and they make personnel decisions all the time that scratch heads.
I will say this, though. The one thing that Jason Light and Rob McCarty have done this year, it's really kind of stealthy, savvy, is sign guys off of practice squads from other teams.
Yeah.
Right. Dan Feeney, who started at right guard, was a practice squad guy in Buffalo. And they snatched him there. Elijah Simmons, same thing. And, if they need another linebacker, for example, Anthony Walker is sitting right there on the Colts practice squad. You can pluck him at any time. You can do that after the trade deadline. So it's not like if they don't make a deal, this is the roster that's going to be absolutely set prior to the Super Bowl or whatever for this team if they go that far. But there are other practice squads you can raid, and they've done that. So, that's another vehicle that this team can use at their disposal. So it's not like, if the trade line comes and goes and there's no deal that's been made, don't think that this roster is set for the rest of the season. It might not be.
All right, partner, tell everybody they can get your great content. You guys are on the air more than me these days. The hell?
Yeah, we got a really cool podcast tomorrow at 3:00. We have Super Bowl winning head coach Bruce Arians joining us on the Pewter Report podcast at 3 p.m. special time. Got to accommodate BA. He says 3:00. Damn it, we'll do a podcast at 3:00.
Damn right we will.
We're doing that tomorrow at 3 p.m. on Pewter Report TV. Make sure you check that out. Also available on X and Facebook. Streaming live on our X and Facebook accounts at Pewter Report. And then, if that wasn't cool enough, and we've already had, we had Todd Bowles on earlier this summer before the training camp. We had Tony Dungy on right before the start of the season. Now having Bruce Arians. Who else should we get? Oh, yeah, John Gruden. We'll have John Gruden on Monday at 4:00, right? 4 best Bucs coaches of all time. They're still living. That we're going to have on the 50th season here. So that we're pretty excited about that. So Bruce Arians, 3:00 tomorrow on Pewter Report TV, and then John Gruden, Chucky, 4 p.m. on Monday. So some really good bye-week content there on our podcast. And of course, you can read us at pewterreport.com. Plenty of stories all week long and throughout the weekend as the Bucs look to improve on their 6-2 record, hopefully with another win against the Patriots after the bye week.
And what time is Greg Schiano coming on?
Haven't lined him up yet. I could get him on though. I'm still.
Well, I was gonna have him in.
We had Raheem on last year. Before,
our thermostat only goes to 74.
That's true. That's too hot.
68. It has to be 68, not 67, not 69.
And JP, I can see right now your toes are not on the line. So
my toes are not on the line. They're all over the place.
Can I give another shout out real quick?
Yeah. K-State?
That's K-State. Yeah.
Did you guys win a game?
We did. Yeah.
We did.
17 years in a row, we beat little brother,
Nice.
the Jayhawks.
That's
by the way, a Wildcat's a real thing.
17 years in a row.
17 years in a row. Yeah, this goes back to the Bush administration.
Holy, that is a
I saw a cool little.
That'd be like us losing to the Gators 17 years in a row.
Imagine that, right? My son Logan's 20.
Well, if Norvell stays head coach for that long, we will.
Here's the crazy thing. So Netflix was actually a thing back then, but they were delivering DVDs to people at the time. There was no streaming. Anything.
That's right. Yeah. I totally forgot about that. Yeah. The red Netflix. Yeah, that's right.
So, Logan and I were going out to Manhappiness, Kansas, and we're gonna go watch the Texas Tech Kansas State game on Saturday.
That'll be a good one.
Yeah. Jacob Parrish will also be out there too. So
my Red Raiders.
Oh, Jacob's going for the Bible.
Okay, cool. I'm a big fan of Texas Tech. I think they're the best team in the Big 12. It's just because I hate BYU. But Texas Tech, man, David Bailey's for real. Rodriguez, their middle linebacker.
Jacob Rodriguez.
Yeah, Jacob Rodriguez is a stud middle linebacker. Love that guy. So I'm going to be doing some scouting for the Bucs while I'm out there as well.
We got to get Baron Morton healthy, though, man. They need their quarterback back.
Yes. Yeah.
Best team money can buy.
I know.
Welcome to college football.
Yeah. So I'll be out there watching some football, hopefully be another Wildcat victory, but I guess it's on Fox. I think it's on national Fox game. So
we'll be watching.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, partner. Appreciate it.
Got it. You guys.
Great. Scott Reynolds right there. Good luck to the Jayhawks.
No.
No.
I mean, never say that. Shame on you.
Wildcats. Sorry. My brain.
JP.
See how quickly he reacted to?
Yeah.
Lord.
I'm going to drop some F-bombs on your show now.
Fuck off.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Great Scott Reynolds right there.
Oh, Lord.
You can drop him, man. We got a big fucking problem. Yes, we do. It's called the NFL official. First name, the Ciano. Oh, my God.
Like my Ciano reference there.
That was fantastic. Golly. He literally, would berate the local hotelier that was working with the Bucs during training camp his first year. He would berate him if it was not 68 on the button. Every meeting room had to, or there was hell to pay.
Idiot.
He had to hand deliver his ham and cheese omelet or whatever the hell it was. Everything had to be people like that just make me crazy.
All right, look, I got to real quick, JP. I need to address this first name greatest. Glad Pewter Report got an upgraded jersey. That alarm clock jersey was an eyesore. Sir, I have been meaning to say something to Scott Reynolds every single time he is on since he made that switch in the background over his left shoulder. But I can never get a word in edgewise the way JP and Scott go back.
You got to jump in, man. You can't. I give you a breath, and if you don't take it, we're moving on.
Now it's been so long, I feel like a dummy saying something, but I'm going to because I noticed that too. And yes, that stupid alarm clock jersey was a huge eyesore for me. And probably the worst. God, I don't know what prompted that, JP. Why?
Oh, we got to change. We just change the jersey because we haven't changed it in a while, and we can sell more of them.
Nobody.
It's all about selling more gear, right? Because you don't want to show up at the yard with, God forbid you wear a jersey of someone who's been traded or retired. God forbid.
So ridiculous.
We saw some Eric Rett jerseys the other day. I'm like, holy
wow.
Yeah.
It's a throwback.
I like those. I mean, I like it when there's no reason to have to go get a new jersey. That was your favorite player. You got it. Fine. But people feel the pressure. Ooh, there's a new jersey out. I got to go get it. Really?
No.
Really? And pay $250 for a shirt? Okay. No. You do that. You be you. All right. Quick break. When we come back, TJ Rives is going to join us. We're going to get into a little bit of baseball as well. The 18th inning walk-off by Freddie Freeman last night. What a game. And so many moments before that you thought were walk-offs.
Yeah, how many narrow misses did they have for home runs in the innings leading up to the 18th? It was
Kiki, Teoscar. Yeah. There were probably four balls that I thought were walk-offs.
That made it to the track, yeah.
They just would not go out. It's crazy. Craziest thing ever. And the Jays fought back too. It was a great game. So we'll talk a little bit about that and much more. Get your comments in as well. We're brought to you by the great folks at Riveters. They are our official bar and grill. I was there yesterday with Kane Hagan and the Big O. We had a nice lunch there yesterday. Oh, the prime rib sandwich that I got. Ooh, I can only eat half of it because it's so big, and then I got mashed potatoes instead of fries. They're mashed potatoes.
Oh, yeah.
They got chunks of the red potato in them, so they made them like it's not some mix. I mean, it was real mashed potatoes, which I love. Fantastic. And I get the wings for the appetizer. They're wings, medium wings with the blue cheese, freshly made blue cheese. Their blue cheese is the best blue cheese I've ever tasted. And you can't wait. My mouth is watering. You can't wait to dunk that chicken wing in there and get the buffalo and freaking good. Riveters Tampa, go by there. Tell them JP said you always pre-gaming there before Bucs games, anything. USF games, you got to go to Riveters. Right there, south of the stadium, just north of 275 on Dale Mabry, next to the spaceship, Riveters, Tampa. Back at 3. The holidays are coming up, and the Golden Diamond Source wants to be your family jeweler. Discover the ultimate jewelry superstore with the largest selection of diamonds, engagement rings, and fine jewelry all under one roof. Don't wait any longer to find that one-of-a-kind perfect engagement ring for that special someone in your life. And as your relationship grows, so can your diamond with the Golden Diamond Source. Trade up at any time. You get 100% of its value when you come back to trade up. And why don't you get a head start on your holiday shopping? With the Golden Diamond Source's unbeatable low pricing and financing options, you can get 5 years, 0%, and make this holiday season truly memorable. The Golden Diamond Source takes pride in offering only natural diamonds formed over billions of years by the Earth's incredible forces. If it's real love, get a real diamond. Shop online anytime at goldendiamond.com or stop by their showroom and tell them JP sent you at 3800 Almaton Road, always online at goldendiamond.com. Welcome to Kingmakers, home of the JP Peterson Show studio and Tampa's premier business networking and social club for members only. By day, it's an exclusive, vibrant co-working space with a stylish conference room, focus rooms, a full production studio, and an in-house marketing team. And by night, Kingmakers transforms into a sports-centric social hub with a full sports bar, golf simulator, and exclusive events. For young entrepreneurs and seasoned professionals, it's the perfect place to work hard, play hard, and make big moves in Midtown Tampa. Close the deal, celebrate the win. Only at Kingmakers. Become a member today at kingmakerstampa.com. Your business, your club. JP here for the Jeeves Law Group and my man Scott Jeeves, who lives right here and has long been a highly respected member of our community. He's a proud sponsor of the Tampa Riverwalk. Jeeves Law Group is also a proud sponsor of our Grand Central District in St. Pete and has neighborhood events throughout the year. He has an office on Central Avenue in St. Pete and one on South Howard in Tampa. You can't get more local than that. So when you need an attorney, are you going to hire some huge firm that advertises all over the state or the one that supports your favorite sports show? It's the Jeeves Law Group. We're local, we're trusted, and we get results. For personal injury and personal attention, call us for a free case evaluation. That's 8889-JEEVES. That's 8889-JEEVES. With this record heat in Tampa Bay, you better have your AC unit running at peak efficiency. Third Generation Plumbing installs the best American standard AC units. Our split systems offer the highest efficiency available while reducing energy bills and maximizing comfort. That's why Third Generation Plumbing trusts American standard air conditioning, built to last, made to perform. Whether it's a new install or an emergency repair, our family-owned team brings 3 generations of trusted service to your home, now with the unmatched reliability of American standard. Plumbing or cooling, we've got Tampa covered. Call Third Generation Plumbing today, 813-961-8024, or go to thirdgenerationplumbing.com. And we also do AC.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, voted number 3 People's Choice Award on Open Table. I want to thank all our loyal family of customers that have been enjoying our great traditional Italian dishes we make from scratch every day. It's a great family story we're proud of. Our family moved from Rimini, Italy in 1984. My dad, Caesar, started Donatello, and that's where I got the start in the restaurant business. I started Caffè Paradiso on South McDill in 1995, and we've been there ever since. From our traditional ossobuco, a veal slow roast for 4 hours, to our daily fresh catch, the Gruppo Paradiso, with a piccata sauce and lobster claw meat, homemade pasta like lasagna, farfalle salchicha, which is a bow tie pasta homemade with fresh sausage. Hold on a minute, JP's favorite.
I love it.
So come and have a glass of wine with me on South McDill. Get a reservation on Open Table and see all our 5-star reviews. Ciao, see you soon at Paradiso.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by Bay Area Modern Medical Center. Chris Lugo, my concierge doctor, will do the same for you. Go to BAMMC.com as their website. Find out what concierge medicine is all about. Folks, I got news for you. Your insurance company is not interested in keeping you healthy. They're interested in making money. So if you want someone that actually cares about your health, you got to get a concierge doctor. That's BAMMC.com, Bay Area Modern Medical Center. He will meet with you, give you a free evaluation, and then you get into the program and you have somebody that's actually in your corner directing your health. You can have insurance, get all the testing and all that stuff done, but have someone actually directing your health care that looks at your blood work, looks at your sleeping patterns, looks at your workouts, looks at your nutrition, spends time with you. That's what you need for your health. A lot of stuff going on out there in healthcare, folks. Get someone who is an advocate for you. BAMMC.com. It is worth it. And it's less than you think in terms of per month charges. So get your evaluation at BAMMC.com. All right, let's welcome in the man, the myth, the loquacious, the incomparable, TJ Reed. What's up, dog?
It's always good to be with you, loquacious, verbose.
Yes.
Whatever you prefer here on a Tuesday.
Handsome.
I don't know about that. Good to be with you. Timmy, congrats on getting Brian Kelly out of LSU. They
Dig 'em, baby.
They thank the Aggies.
Yes, you're welcome.
We can go in, JP, any avenue you want to travel. I mean, we will eventually obviously talk a lot about this.
Yes, we will.
You point blank hit me this morning with, did you make it through the World Series? Did I make it through the World Series? I'm not 25 years old anymore. No, I did not make
None
it
of
through.
us did.
I did. I made it through every pitch.
Okay, good for you. Alcohol and caffeine may have been a factor for you to assist you in doing that.
Vodka Red Bull, yes, sir.
Maybe I got to go to Christopher Lugo and Bay Area Modern Medicine and see if I can get some help with, if I have to pull an all-nighter, if that is the case. So I will confess that I put the Twins to bed at around 10:15, and I stayed invested for another 2.5 hours. But long about 12:30, I'm like, this could go on, and it did go on and on. So I checked out 13th inning with the game still tied, 5-5.
Yeah.
And am I to understand 3 a.m. Eastern time, 2 a.m. Timmy time, like 1 minute before midnight Pacific time?
That's
before
right.
Tuesday morning is when Freddie Freeman hit that home run.
Launched it.
So,
and the thing is, there were probably Teoscar Hernandez, Kiki, there were probably 3 or 4 shots that we thought were going to do it, that we're going to, and we're warning track and Varsho tracked them down. And this one, I'm like, yeah, that's going to center field to die. And it barely made it over the wall, and chaos ensued.
So you made all 18 innings until 3
No,
a.m.
I did not. I did not.
I did. But Timmy did. Okay.
Yeah, Timmy did. I woke up to a vacuum cleaner commercial. So,
I have a colleague.
Tally licking my leg. Like, can I?
The dog is like, what's going on here? The TV's still on. You're sort of awake, and it's 3:00 in the morning. So a colleague on another interview told me, and this is classic, and this happens to me, that he fell asleep somewhere around the 8th inning. He believes that he remembers seeing something about that, and he woke up in the 13th, and then he watched to the conclusion. I said that still counts for being there at the end of the game.
Yeah. Sure. Oh yeah.
The 2-hour siesta in the middle of it is problematic. You could have missed the ending, but as it turns out, you did not. Have you guys gone over the Ohtani stat line? Have you gone over the Ohtani stat line?
2 home runs, 2 doubles.
Okay, hold on. 9. Let's start at the beginning. 9 at bats, 9 times on base. By the way, 9
Never
for
done
9.
before.
Has that ever been done? I don't know if that's ever been done in a regular season game, much less a postseason game.
Never.
9 at bats, on base all 9 times, 4 hits, 2 home runs, 3 runs scored, 3 runs driven in. I mean, that's got to be the most. It's
2 home runs, 2 doubles.
2 home runs. It's got to be the most incredible stat line in any postseason game ever.
And he's the starting pitcher tonight.
9 at bats. He's on all 9 times. I just checked this before I came on. There was nobody else in the game that got on base more than 4 times.
Right.
He got on
certainly
9.
not Mookie Betts.
This is like Ferris Bueller from the 80s. 9 times. Remember?
Yes, very nice.
You've been absent 9 times. 9 times.
Move over, Babe Ruth. There's a new number 1.
9 times he got on base last night. That's a stat.
And unfortunately, we are not going to see him get a strike the rest of the series.
Didn't they say after the game they're walking him from here on out?
You should have thought of that before.
Pretty incredible.
There's something like terrible about that. We want to see him hit, but that's baseball. That's the game. The other guy's got to pick you up, and Mookie Betts has not done a very good job of that right now, but Freddie Freeman certainly has. Right. This is a murderer's row lineup. It's absolutely incredible.
My father and I were talking about the Barry Bonds stuff and how crazy it got in the early 2000s. Yeah. And wasn't it? Well, I think Buck Showalter walked him with the bases loaded.
Yep.
And then I think Joe Madden later did it with the Rays against the Giants, where he walked him with the bases loaded and said, "We're not going to risk the grand slam. We'll give up the run. Go to first base."
Yeah. Absolutely.
And what's funny is just when Ohtani, before he tied it, because don't forget he tied the game.
Correct.
When they were down 4 or down 5-4.
I was still conscious at that point when they tied the game at 5. It was his home run.
You had a huge meeting on the pitcher's mound.
Yeah.
John Schneider came out. Everybody came out, and you can know they're talking about it on the broadcast. Whatever you do, don't throw to them outside, low and outside, low and outside. That's what they're preaching.
Right.
The very first pitch, boom, it's out.
Yeah. Was a slider in, right?
There's no one on base, and I understand
slider up and in.
Yeah, and there's no one on base, and I know the school of thought is don't put the go-ahead or the tying run or the go-ahead run on base, but it's him. He's lethal.
That changes everything.
And they chose not to do it. So
we are witnessing the greatest player in the history of the game
ever. Let me foreshadow, big word again here on a Tuesday. If he throws like 7 shutout innings tonight with like 7 or 8 or 10 strikeouts, do we go ahead and just anoint this as the greatest postseason performance? Ever.
Didn't we just see that though?
He did.
He hit 3 home runs and 10
strikeout games.
Was last night better than that?
Yes, I think so.
You think 9 for 9
pitch? But my
Slacker.
God,
Slacker.
my God. Stay tuned.
Yeah. Let's debate which postseason performance was better. I think if you have 10 strikeouts on the mound and hit 3 home runs, that's better.
Yeah, and now we add to it we might have mentioned a 9 for 9 18 inning game when you're on base 9 times. And now you're going to follow that up potentially with taking command in the series by throwing, if he does, 4, 5, 6 shutout innings. By the way, come back and throw some shutout innings in a World Series game.
And by the way, those 10 strikeouts, he was throwing 100, 101, 102, hitting corners. I was like, dude, that's so unfair.
I think
he's throwing 102 on the black outside, and these guys are supposed to freaking hit that.
So then we basically conclude not from this planet.
Not from this planet.
No. Not extraterrestrial. So it's incredible.
And man, I will tell you, as a lifelong baseball purist, a lifelong baseball fan, this is, and I know other guys that have my background and love baseball as much as me, they can't stand Ohtani because they think it's bad for the game. I'm like, and I just,
how is it bad for the game?
What planet are they on, Timmy? And how much alcohol consumption that it's bad for the game?
I don't get it because I am all about Ohtani, man. And I called this a couple of years ago, that he's bypassed Babe Ruth as the greatest ever. And it's not close, I don't think.
To do both, to pitch and hit.
Yeah, but Babe Ruth never did them at the same time.
Is it not correct? Babe Ruth never hit a home run in a game he pitched.
No, he did not.
It's crazy. Yeah. All right, what other avenues do you want to travel?
How was the trip to
eulogy, the Bucs? What do you want to do?
Okay, give me a little Brian Kelly.
So when we got there on Saturday to New Orleans, obviously everybody was sky high that they're gonna put it together here against Texas A&M. All is going to be fine. You're still in the college football playoff contention. The buzz around the French Quarter is let's see what happens in this game, and it started well enough. Yeah, and then so Timmy, you obviously follow this closely. I was not following that as closely as everything else was going on. And then all of a sudden I'm seeing the score is 22-18, 29-18, 36-18, or whatever it was. Did LSU quit on Brian Kelly in that second half? In your opinion, did they give up? Did they wave the white flag?
No, I don't think that happened until much later in the game. But Nussmeier was hurt, and the Aggies' defensive line didn't allow him any time for anything. They were getting to him two to three times.
They destroyed LSU. The defensive line
2 to 3 times, per series, and he was hurting. He was hurting bad. And I'm surprised Kelly let him finish the game, to be honest with you. But yeah, I mean, he couldn't do anything. That second half was an obliteration of that entire team. They emptied the stadium. It's I've never seen before.
So as it turns out, the prominent boosters, JP, we were on the show last week or 2 weeks ago talking about the FSU Mafia.
Yeah, right.
And can they get the money together? It turns out during that third and fourth quarter, there were a couple of prominent boosters going suite to suite to suite at Tiger Stadium, like church passing the collection plate on, we got to buy this guy out, and we're going to find a way to come up with the money tonight. And then, I mean, this is a wild story when you read some of the accounts that they got the governor of Louisiana, Edwards, involved, and they actually met at his mansion in Baton Rouge on Sunday afternoon to discuss how to come up with the money for the buyout. That's how much Brian Kelly was hated at this point.
Oh my God!
How bad
all the stuff is coming out now. It's like, and now the guys at his country club are snitching on him. They took away his golf carts immediately and revoked his membership. And also they're like, and they're getting out all this information. Like he played over 400 rounds. He played 400 rounds of golf in 4 years.
Wow,
400 rounds. And it's like soon to come his bar tabs. I mean, everything is going to be
presumably
released.
He's got the money to do
this
it.
Guy. Yeah, they hate this guy.
And look, I never understood the appeal for Brian Kelly to leave Notre Dame to go to LSU. I thought it was a horrible fit. He is not an SEC style coach.
No.
He might not be a good football coach after what we saw Marcus Freeman do with his team at Notre Dame.
Right.
And then see how Kelly fell.
Well, he had a D2 national title. He won at, Central Michigan. Then he won at Cincinnati. Yep. He had them, remember, in the New Year's Day bowl game with Tebow in Florida, but everybody forgets they got destroyed in that game.
Yeah.
And then at Notre Dame, they could get into the playoff, but they really could get no farther than that. And so he wanted to come to LSU, ahead of the posse, the whole bit, and do the deal. And that was out of the blue. Remember when he got hired 4 years ago, nobody had that on the radar for LSU.
Yeah.
So
it was never a good fit.
He was 11-4
in North Carolina.
He was 11-4 in the D2 playoffs, 0-2 in the college football playoff.
And now gone from LSU, as it turns out.
And probably headed to Florida.
Take me to the sidelines. Yeah, right. Take me to the sidelines for the Winfield call and the rest of the ridiculous shenanigans.
Well, you ready to get into that?
Are your ears okay from that blaring whistle on that call? Because it was so loud. I don't know how anybody missed it.
So the first thing, I'm down there, and the first thing is I'm helping Gene because, again, for the Buccaneers Saints game in the Superdome, the radio booth is up by the Lord, up in the 900 level.
Yeah.
And my man Mean Gene is still trying to get it done, and he's got his binoculars, but I'm helping him down there off the air with the microphone on what happens, and Dave's trying to help him too, and they've got a TV monitor, but the monitor's not in real time. It's like a second or two behind. All right, so the play happens, and I'm saying right away, ball's out, live ball, to let Jeff Ryan, my radio boss, know, to let Gene know that that's not a tackle, the ball's out. So you hear Gene on the call saying, fumbled football, and he's trying to come up with the name, and we're helping him. Winfield. And then he says, Winfield to the 20, to the 10, touchdown, Tampa Bay. Nowhere in that audio call, and I turned it up on the Nothing But Bucs podcast, nowhere do you hear a whistle. And a lot of it is the same audio mix as the TV from Fox with Kenny Albert and Jonathan Vilma calling it. And you go back and listen to the TV copy, there is no whistle. Yeah. Kids, I am testifying at the altar of the JP Peterson Show. All right. I'm here on the altar call to testify that there's no official running in, waving his arms incomplete or waving his arms over his head to say the ball is down right here, down by contact, which is the reason why you would be blowing a whistle in that instance.
Exactly.
Nobody running in to do that as Winfield is running down the sideline as the back judge is running down the sideline with Antoine
As the
Winfield.
entire Saints team is trying to catch him.
Chase him.
Nobody clearly
stopped.
have not heard said erroneous whistle.
Yes, there is no whistle. We know there's not a whistle.
How
so
do
they
you
literally
just make it up?
Okay, so we're standing there. I'm standing there on the floor of the Superdome going, this has got to be an easy review. The ball is clearly out. We're seeing the replays. The ball is clearly out. He clearly picks it up without being touched. This is a touchdown. This is an easy review. And as we discussed before, we might have discussed this after the Lions game 7 days ago, that we have New York in the command center that is now talking to Ron Torbert, the referee, in his ear, and is telling him that on video review, this is a fumble and a touchdown. So at whatever point he's bringing up to them, there's an inadvertent whistle. My God, doesn't New York have to replay it real quick, turn the volume up, and say, Ron, there's no whistle. Nobody stopped. This is a touchdown. What are we doing here? That we take 90 seconds to stand around, and then is makeup too strong? We're making up that there's a phantom whistle is the reason why we're not going to allow that to be a touchdown in a one-score game that may end up being a tight game. This is a significant play in the second quarter. There is not, let's put it this way, there is not, as we sit here on Tuesday morning at 11:35 a.m. on October the 28th, 2025, year of our Lord, there has not been one single second of audio to produce a whistle anywhere.
Nope.
So how are you getting away with claiming that it's an inadvertent whistle? It's crazy.
And what in the name of the Zapruder film is this? They actually took out, if you go watch the NFL replay, they've edited out the part where he says, they stop it mid-play, actually. And then they go to the next play. Yeah, Jenna Lane posted
that.
They
take the review completely out of the game feed, the replay feed?
That's what Jenna Lane posted. And she showed the film clips, too.
So in the NFL,
the film clips.
In the NFL films, in the NFL
pulled a Richard Nixon.
That they've erased the tapes, exactly like Watergate. If we've erased the tapes, nothing illegal was done. If we've expunged
Twitter, everybody, including me, has taken the clip, and it's so funny because it's the only thing Jonathan Vilma got right in the entire day. Because they're like, okay, Albert goes, all right, we're gonna take the audio, the clean audio, we'll listen for a whistle, and they run it,
and there is none.
It's like there's no whistle.
And he says to Kenny Albert, "Did you hear a whistle?" And Kenny Albert says, "I did not hear a whistle."
Okay, the way
can I
they
tell
said it
you,
though was precious. It was like,
you
I didn't hear one either.
You like the next level. Can I tell you? At halftime of the game, I pull up the replay of the game that is currently on my streaming service. I queue up the play, and I turn the volume up in the tunnel for 5 people standing around me. And I'm like, do any of you hear a whistle on the audio from Fox? That's what they're claiming. So we were playing it in real time at halftime off the game broadcast, which I have and everybody else has. Just thankfully it didn't matter. Now it robs Antoine Winfield of a touchdown there. And can I come back to the second altar call? The interception in the second half of Tyler Shuck. The ball is being bobbled. He goes to the ground without possession. He gathers the ball on the ground and gets up and runs in for another touchdown, and they're blowing the whistle when they're not supposed to.
Right.
So he's robbed of a second touchdown in the game. Because that's a clean, as far as I'm concerned, get up off the ground, you're not touched. And they're saying the ruling is the runner is down by contact, and they blew the whistle on that when they're not supposed to. As I have often said, I'm going to share it here. I do not know what crew is working the upcoming Super Bowl 60. I do not know what crew is working Super Bowl 60. I can assure you I know what crew is not working Super Bowl 60. I saw them in New Orleans.
And the week before in Detroit, or where was it?
Detroit. Last week.
Yeah. John Hussey's group. I don't think.
Thankfully, it did not matter in the end because you did enough. You had enough of a lead, and you kicked the field goals, and you're playing defense and suffocating them. But there needs to be an explanation from the command center. This vice president of officiating that talked before on the pool report after the Detroit game, he needs to explain what they saw and what they did. There needs to be accountability. We keep talking.
No, and I don't have a problem with them letting the play go because they do that all the time. If you don't know, just let the play go. But their explanation for why it wasn't a touchdown has to be the worst ever about a mystery whistle. Just say he was down by contact, even though I'm
but
not.
They know
Here-
in
here's-
that moment.
here's how it went down.
They know in that moment. They know they can't get away with down by contact. It's clearly not.
Right,
So they know
right.
that.
Well,
But I would have thought that more than the whistle.
I've just discovered the audio of what New York said
Do you?
to the conversation with Mr. Torbert.
You have
It's
it?
like, yeah, I do it right here. It says the New York says, "Oh shit, 74% of the money is on the Buccaneers, minus 3.5. This puts them up by 14, and the Saints absolutely suck on offense. This is only going to get worse. We've got to take this off the board." Rod, how are we going to handle this? Well, he clearly had the ball. He clearly ran down there. So whistle. Let's go with erroneous whistle. Yeah.
I
That's
don't
a
have
new
to-
one. Love the word erroneous. Let's go with that, Ron. Go ahead. I like that. Well done. Excellent.
I don't have to go conspiratorial here just to say I was there and there was not a whistle, if that's the explanation. And
that big parabolic mic that your friends carry around, we can check
We
the
would have
natural
heard
sound
it.
audio, and we would have heard somebody sneeze in row Z.
That's exactly right.
With that parabolic mic. We certainly did
And
not hear a
most
whistle.
critically, somebody would have been running in, signaling either incomplete pass if Shaheed didn't hold it, or signaling this, blowing their whistle. The play is dead right here because I believe he got touched. And like Timmy's point, they're instructed not to do that. They're instructed to let the play out and let
a player react to a whistle and stop. None of that.
Yeah, because
happened.
none of the Saints stopped. Nobody
None
stopped.
of that happened.
You're right. They're chasing
and he
after
said it
him.
was on the far side. So a coach would have reacted. A player on the far side would have reacted.
Oh, the
they would have
Saints.
started pointing to the referee. Oh, he blew his whistle. Blah, blah, blah. None of that happened. None of it happened. So what happened?
I have no explanation on it.
I just read it to you. I just did that.
You did. You gave your version. I got
That's the explanation.
That's the explanation. So any other do we have any other New Orleans stories?
In other news, as I
liquor related?
predicted last week when TJ was on the show.
Yes.
Ellen Moore finally decided to move on from Spencer Rattler, apparently. And
yes,
whether he's ready or not, Tyler Shuck, I think, is your guy the rest of the
way. And we talked in the build-up here, sooner or later, you've got to find out if he's the guy. You're 1-6, you're 1-7. When is that going to be? Spencer Rattler is clearly not the future. So as a starter, at least anyway, they're a mess. I mean, the 4 words "you're on the clock" apply to them. It's either going to be them or Tennessee or the Jets in a death struggle with the second win or a third win. They're that bad. They're devoid of stars really across the board. DeMario Davis and Cam Jordan aren't the same anymore. Alvin Kamara is not the same anymore. So they're bad. And hey, you know what? I'm here for it because they kicked the crap out of the Buccaneers with impunity in the 2010s, Sean Payton and Drew Brees. And now the shoe's on the other foot. The butt kicking shoe is on the other foot here for the Saints. 4 straight happy post-game shows in the Superdome for the sideline guy. We'll take that.
Yes.
And now you rock on. And here's the thing. This is not everything, but you got into the bye at 6-2 with this schedule, front-loaded the way that it is.
These injuries.
And the injuries. And now you get a little healthier out of the bye week. If you win one of the 2 games, I want them to win them all. But if you win one of the 2 games with the 2 AFC East teams, have you seen, you guys are aware and you've gone over what the last 7 games are?
Yeah.
And the combined record right now, just right now, is like 24 games under 500 for Arizona, New Orleans, Atlanta, Carolina twice, and Miami.
Yeah.
To get you a 12th win.
And as I said earlier today, none of those teams is getting better down the stretch.
Well, right.
None of them. They're getting worse.
How many
They're
of them
getting more
have
injuries?
out?
They're trading
How many of them
players.
Don't care, business decisions. You're exactly right. So if you can get to a 7th win, an 8th win, a 9th win by the time you get to Saints at home, Falcons on Thursday night at home, Carolina at home, at Miami, if you can get to a 10th win, an 11th win with 2 or 3 weeks to go, where one of those games is now worth the 2nd seed in the NFC, or maybe contending for the top the top seed in the bye in the NFC hierarchy. This is what you want. This is what you want. Get to that 7th or 8th win before that stretch. And now you're talking about, and this is fantastic. We love this. You're talking about 12-5 or 13-4.
Yeah. It's as much as why, if you can, if there's reasonable deals on the table, you go get an inside linebacker, maybe a wide receiver if you feel like your guys aren't coming back.
Hey, y'all want George Pickens for a 3rd? You can have him right now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll take that. Yeah, and then imagine if Evans and everybody came back. Holy Jesus. All right, TJ, great stuff as always, my friend.
Listen,
appreciate your time.
Always love to be with you. We did not take time to elaborate on this. I do have the photo. I don't have the hat. Sorry for the USF fans that were ready to give it to me every which direction.
Are you really doing that?
I have to do that because
really
I would have gotten it tenfold coming back at me had USF held on to that lead.
Look at
so
that.
what's good for the goose is good for the gander. How many metaphors have we given?
Did you tell Golish to go for it on fourth down and not kick the field goal?
What was that? And then what was, I understand going for the end zone and you got the holding penalty.
Yeah.
There at the end. But hey, you may see a sequel. USF and Memphis may come back around in the championship game. Stay tuned. In the round robin.
I hope so.
Tulane involved, Navy involved.
I don't want to go back to Memphis in December.
Listen, always good to be with you on all subjects. We got a reload for the World Series tonight.
Mm-hmm.
We got the Bucs off this week, but you have me back anytime you need me, my friend.
All right, partner. Thank you. The great TJ Reeves right there. Bucs sideline guy. Follow him on the Twitter machine. All right, up next, the great Orestes Destrade is going to join us to talk World Series history, what we are witnessing before our eyes with Shohei Ohtani and all kinds of – we might even touch on the Rays a little bit as well. We're brought to you by the great folks at OnSiteConstructionFL.com. Go to their website and get all the 5-star reviews that they got over there. If you're looking to upgrade your home or restore your home or just get on their preferred contractors list or preferred clients list for your contractor. So if something happens in the hurricane, you will be covered in terms of knowing who your contractor is and being first in line or at the top of the list. OnSiteConstructionFL.com. Back in 3 with Orestes Destrade. JP here for Riveters, the official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. We're located just south of Ray J and Steinbrenner Field, so it's a great pre- and post-game spot, and the happy hour is amazing. Monday through Friday, 3 to 7. Check out these specials. $3 Bud Light drafts, $4 domestic bottles, $5 wells, $6 premium wells, $6 cocktails like margaritas. That's unheard of. And the Riveters food is freshly made daily. No freezers. Happy hour food specials include $3.50 tacos and barbecue sliders. $6 you get edamame or chips with the beer cheese, which is amazing. $8 buffalo chicken dip, my favorite. The truffle fries, chili cheese fries, also $8 at happy hour. As well as other specials throughout the week, including Taco Tuesdays, you get $3 tacos, and Wing Wednesdays, 7 o'clock to 1 a.m. in the morning, you get our amazing wings, 5 for $5 and $5 wells and wines. That's a good Wednesday night. So if you're tired of the preppy, overpriced generic sports bars, come see the amazing, friendly bartenders and staff at Riveters, where customer service really matters. Riveters, just south of where the Rays and Bucs play. We'll see you there. Experience the art of driving at Genesis of Tampa, where luxury meets innovation and every detail is crafted for you. From the bold G70 to the refined GV80, Genesis delivers power, elegance, and technology years ahead of its time. Book service online, and our Genesis Experience advisors will pick you up and drop off your vehicle. If available, you can enjoy a courtesy car while yours gets a complimentary interior vacuum plus a generous offer for your trade. Every new Genesis comes with the Miracle Advantage Plan, 10 years or 250,000 miles of powertrain warranty and 4 years of complimentary maintenance. Visit us at 801 East Bears Avenue or online at genesisoftampa.com. Genesis of Tampa, luxury redefined. Italiano Insurance would like to congratulate the Bucs on their 50th anniversary season. And you know what? We've been here for every season and then some, over 60 years in business. We've seen some smart coaches with great game plans, but if you don't have flood insurance or business insurance, that's a terrible game plan. That could ruin you financially. You don't want to take that L. So call 813-877-7799 and let their friendly agents quarterback your insurance and save you big money. Italiano also sponsors our FSU report every week, so go Noles. 813-877-7799 or go to italianoinsurance.com. JP here for my friend Jason Fawcett, owner of On-Site Construction. They do residential and commercial renovations and new construction. As a leading home builder and general contractor, On-Site Construction prides itself on transforming homes through superior craftsmanship, dedication to client vision, and an unmatched commitment to quality and service. It's about building relationships. We take the time to understand our clients' needs, preferences, and budgets so that we can deliver a personalized experience tailored to their unique vision. From the initial designs to the final touches, we're there every step of the way, ensuring that the end result mirrors your vision. Here are some testimonials from happy customers. G. Gibson says, no hidden costs, very honest, reliable, creative, and communicates well. Reasonable and fair with their pricing, no hidden costs. C. Smith said, did not disappoint. I'm very happy with the work. This company really cares and will take care of it. So if you're just thinking about building or renovating, give us a call and let's see what's possible. 813-579-5789 or check out our website at onsiteconstructionfl.com. Are you having legal issues with a business partner or other legal business issues? The attorneys at Walters, Levine & DeGrave can help. Call 800-616-0384 for a free consultation. At Walters, Levine & DeGrave, we've redefined what a law firm can be with top-tier attorneys, personal service, and 26 years of success. From business law to civil litigation, we deliver smart, client-focused solutions. Walters, Levine & DeGrave recently won a $6.4 million jury verdict from a large real estate developer, and they can win for you too. Walters, Levine & DeGrave. Let's solve it together. Not attorney spokesman. For a free consultation, call 800-616-0384 or go to walterslevine.com. Offices Tampa, Sarasota.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, well, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show. Delete Me makes it easy, quick, and safe to remove your personal data online at a time when surveillance and data breaches are common enough to make everyone vulnerable. The New York Times Wirecutter has named Delete Me their top pick for data removal services. So take control of your data and keep your private life private by signing up for Delete Me now at a special discount for our listeners. Get 20% off your Delete Me plan when you go to joindeleteme.com/hit. Use the promo code HIT at checkout. Joindeleteme.com/hit and enter code HIT at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/hit, code HIT. All right, time to welcome in Destrade joining us here, fresh off.
My bad.
You're good. You're good.
Yeah, I'm good. How about that?
You stayed up all 18
I watched
innings?
that whole game, brother. In fact, I was even flipping back and forth and watching Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
And this is what I got to say. It was such an incredible sports night that you could watch a whole Monday Night Football game and watch the great Patrick Mahomes, just slice up the Washington Commanders and still watch a 9-inning baseball game.
Yeah, how about that?
I didn't know it was going to be a doubleheader.
A 9-inning baseball game that started 5-5.
Yeah.
That's out there. If you were a football fan, you watch Monday Night Football. Oh, that was nice. Oh, the Kansas City Chiefs are back.
Yeah, they're back.
They're pretty good. They're pretty good. Let me see what's going on with the other game. Oh, 9 innings.
Oh my God. Greatest World Series game.
That was a slice of hamon right there.
Oh, it was great.
Of ham. So many things in that game. So many, and obviously, I'm watching it and I'm going, wait a second. What did this ever happen before? And it actually did. It happened back in 2018 when they had an 18-inning game.
Yeah,
it was a longer game than that one.
But not as good. Not as many moments.
Not as many
didn't
moments.
have the Ohtani moments.
No.
That this did.
Oh, no. I mean, you did have actually two players that I noticed when I looked up the box score. You had Muncy, who hit the game-winning home run in that game.
Yeah.
And it was an important one even though they ended up getting, beat in 5 games, but they were down 2-0, so they kind of really needed to win that game.
Have to have that one.
And also, oh, by the way, Mookie Betts was in that game and went 0 for 7.
Yeah.
So he did not have 2 good 18-inning games twice.
He's not a big fan of the 18-inning game.
He's not a big fan of the 18-inning games. Not a big fan of what
was he last night?
Walks. He was 1 for 7.
1 for 7.
1 for 7.
Yeah.
He 0 for his first 6, I believe, right?
Yeah. And then he I think he was 0 for his first 5.
And it just stands out more when they keep walking Ohtani.
Dramatically. What Ohtani did, and the way that I put it, and I was really thinking about it this morning early and kind of woke up thinking about this game, went to bed at 3 a.m, woke up thinking about this game. And I'm going, this guy arguably, and I want both your guys' opinion.
By the way, Betts 1 for 8 last night.
Was he 1 for 8?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think he did strike out his last time up. I mean, I think Shohei Ohtani may be arguably the greatest disruptor athlete that has ever been known to in professional sports.
Sure.
By disruptor, I mean the guy, not only can he, hit the home runs, but he hits doubles, he gets on base. He did get thrown out yesterday trying to steal, but he can steal a base. He runs the base as well. He's fast. And then, oh, by the way, he can get on the mound and do some incredible things. We'll see what he does tonight. It'll be interesting to see, even though he was the DH and having been a DH for 5 years and on the field as a first baseman, outfielder for 11 years in the professional ranks. I will tell you that when you're playing defense and offense as a baseball player, everyday player, it stresses you, So it's going to be interesting how everybody bounces back, but it's going to be interesting how he bounces back because he's got to get on the mound now.
Yeah.
After being on base, dare I say, 9 times, a historic 9 times. So, but the bottom line is that he's so disruptive, man. So you force Snyder to have to walk him, 3 times.
4 times, really.
No, but 3 times with nobody on base.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. 3 times with nobody on base. That's
and if I'm not wrong, when a leadoff walk scores 50% of the time,
I mean, roughly. Yeah.
So you're literally flipping a coin whether you're going to give up a run in extra innings that could end the game.
No, but you have to, especially because most of those times there was a right-handed pitcher.
I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just
you're
think
flipping
about
a coin.
that.
Yeah, that's you have to after what he did the first 4 at bats with 2 doubles and 2 homers. You just didn't want to get him. You lose by Shohei Ohtani. You should be fired if you're a manager. Especially
we already don't like John Schneider anyway because he thinks it's too hot
Why?
to play baseball in Tampa.
Yeah, it's too hot.
Is that what he
in
said?
the minor league stadium? Yeah,
he said that earlier this year.
During the season.
When during one of the summer games they had during the day, he's like, our guys,
This guy was a catcher.
I know. And he's like,
He's not complaining.
He's like,
he always
you can see
wore
it
all
was
the
getting
pads. Hamon, the guy should be used to hot. You're behind the plate for 9 innings. I missed that one.
He's complaining. It's getting in his guys' heads that it was not. It
too
wasn't a major league stadium, and it's hot.
Oh my
and
God!
It starts to get into you.
We don't like him.
No.
We don't like
Come on,
him.
bro.
USA.
USA, Ohtani. I'm rooting for Ohtani. I'm rooting for USA, right?
Yeah, because if you're going up against Canada. But I will tell you this. He is a disruptor, and the only other
dominator.
The only other 2 athletes that I've always mentioned MJ because of the fact that a lot of people forget what an incredible defender he became early in his career. He was all offense. Then he said, "Oh, wait a second, I'm an athlete, and I'm going to become a great defender." So he's the
wanted
most
to win
disruptor.
a title.
Yeah, exactly. And then the other guy that came to mind, and I'm thinking, and again, I'll throw it out to you guys. Who was another great disruptor in the world of sports? And remember, in most sports, you have offense only.
Right.
Gretzky.
Yeah.
Brady. It's offense only.
In basketball, you got to play both ends.
Basketball, you play hands, but
So
there's
I would say Jordan.
There's not that many great basketball players that played both ends.
Except Jordan. Jordan was the best defensive player.
Will Chamberlain.
But Bill Russell wasn't a dominant offensive player.
He wasn't. He really wasn't.
Jordan was dominant offensively and defensively.
Yeah. So the only other athlete that I came up with,
Jordan.
Muhammad Ali. Because if you remember in his greatness when he was, a heavyweight, but he's really more like a light heavyweight, 6'4", 210, his defense, he frustrated. He frustrated, them trying to put offense
like a butterfly, sting
like a bee. So you're putting this guy in the levels of Ali, Jordan, Ruth.
Yeah. And I will say this from a football standpoint, a name that comes to mind, JP, back in our day was Lawrence Taylor.
Lawrence Taylor came to my mind too.
But again,
and he was in a massive on the defensive
only
side.
Do it half the time, yeah.
Yeah, but on the defensive side, I would say probably the greatest disruptor because he could drop back and tackle.
Game wrecker.
He could bull rush. He could do it all and
but
side to side.
But back to this game, there were so many moments in the game. Vlad's slide was, I'll remember that.
Yeah.
The throw, the throw that gets
that slide looked painful, by the way.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
The throw that got
From
the guy at
Teoscar?
the plate. Yeah, Teoscar. Yeah.
Yeah, Teoscar Hernandez and actually Tommy Edman had a great game. He made an error earlier in the game, But he really played phenomenal defense, made a lot of wonderful plays. That one was huge because, again, that's about how quickly you can get that relay throw to your guy, and then the guy have a gun.
Turn it around.
And he turned it around. So there was that. There was, surprisingly, the one thing that we went into, and we were talking about it, both bullpens were kind of suspect. My gosh, they shut the door down. And there's a guy that I want to definitely talk about, and that is Will Klein. Who the heck is Will Klein, right? So this is a guy that's going to go down in the lore of if they do end up winning, in the lore. He pitched 4 innings, 1, 2, 3, 4. He had only gave up 1 hit, couple of walks, 5 strikeouts. He had never pitched 4 innings in a major league game, but there's deeper than that. If you look at this guy's trek to get to the big leagues, it's been incredible. I'm just going to go if you really started out first, this guy was drafted by the Kansas City Royals and didn't make it up there, got traded, then ended up got traded to the A's. The A's DFA'd him. And then, how you could do when you DFA a guy, then you could trade him for a pittance. They traded him to the Seattle Mariners for future considerations. It wasn't even for when you get traded for future considerations.
Send us a bag of balls later.
Down the road, you owe me one. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, it's 68 and you owe me one. That is kind of that type of thing. And then he goes to Seattle. He gets DFA'd January 17th of this year by Seattle, which forced a simple little trade to the Dodgers. After they got traded to the Dodgers, when you look at this guy treks on January 17th, he gets traded to the Dodgers. They send him right away to Tacoma. They call him up for a little while. Then they send him back to Tacoma. He goes up to the big leagues for just a little while, and they send him back down. To Oklahoma City. That's where the Dodgers AAA is. He goes up and down to the Dodgers AAA. Finally gets back up September 29th. Okay, he only had like 15 innings this year.
Yeah.
Totally pitched. And this guy's pitching the last 4 innings in game
do or die baseball.
Do or die baseball and shuts people down.
Yeah.
It's a testament to perseverance. It's a testament to how hard it is to actually be a professional baseball player. And it's a testament that it's not always in sports the greatest player that does things. Freddie Freeman did his thing.
How do you lock in for 4 innings? You go back to the bench and you're looking at watching everything going on. The freaking place is packed. It's a historic game, and then you keep going out there and throwing strikes. I mean, that is not easy to do.
No, not
crazy.
Not with an offense with Toronto that has been pesky, to say the least. And and every time you wrap back around, so every time I'm watching the game and they get through a 1, 2, 3 innings for any of that what I'm looking at and I'm following it also on my phone is when is Shohei Ohtani coming back up? And then the other one was when is Vladimir Guerrero coming back up? So anytime you flip the lineup and you were getting down to the 7, 8, 9 hitters, I'm going, okay, here they come. Here comes the big boys. And they were shutting them down. They were walking Shohei, getting through Betts, and actually getting through Freeman. Freeman almost ended the game in his prior at bat when he hit one.
So did Teoscar.
There
were 3 or 4 balls to the warning track.
To the warning track.
That we
the
thought
ball was
going
not
out.
carrying as well as it was earlier in the game when they jumped on the 2.
So you've seen a lot of World Series games. Greatest one of all time?
I don't know if that's the greatest one of all time.
Well, it's up there though.
It's up there.
Sure. Yeah,
it's up there. There have been some great games. I mean, I guess as far as single, performances, for me as a kid, Reggie's, game 6, was an incredible thing. But that was an individual performance. As far as a great game, I mean, there were so many back and forth. I mean, you have 6 guys, because then you got to go to game 7s. It's hard to not think about
it's game 3.
Sevens.
It's even though it's important,
massively important.
I mean, in this format, to the 2-3-2 format. Teams winning game 3 at home have gone on to win the series 29 of 48 times. So only 60%.
Right.
Tied 1-1.
So it could go
either way. That's not a huge number.
Obviously, what Toronto's looking to try to do, obviously win every game that they strap on, but it's to at least get 1 out of 3 here, get back home.
You feel like, but I kind of felt like, boy, Toronto, they need to win this game to win the series last night. I really felt that way.
I disagree. I disagree. I think the game to win is tonight for them.
Yeah.
The game. Yeah, of course. If they could have, snuck.
But you're in extra innings.
But you're in extra innings.
You got to face Shohei tonight.
Yeah, but the problem
This is the one you had to get.
The problem is once you get into extra innings and you're on the road, any little mistake, any wrongly pitched, pitch, and you're the visiting team, game over. You don't get another at bat.
Right.
So now they get a full game. This is the swing game for me. Why? Because if you can't kind of beat up on Shohei, possibly because of that longness of the night.
Yeah.
Remember, Shane Bieber they did send him to the bullpen.
Right.
Nobody's
got a bullpen tonight.
Yeah. So, well, they're going to have to.
Yeah. Shohei, how many innings is he going to be able to go?
That's the catch. I mean, how incredible can he find the focus and the energy to pitch 6-7 innings?
Yeah.
If he does that, now he goes into a deeper stratosphere. He's with the 3-eye Atlas up there in the air. He's basically with
the Watchers.
He's with the Watchers.
He's with the Watchers. Down.
So I think
he may have already.
And I'm going to tell you why this game is a really swing game in the series. Because if Shohei is able to do that, I think the series is over. And why? Because Blake Snell, and I said it on Friday, my concern was what? The 10-day layoff.
Yeah.
The 10-day layoff. Remember, this is a game of repetition.
Mm-hmm.
And when a pitcher gets off that long, and I said in the show on Friday, I said, watch out for a 27 pitch first inning because Toronto's going to try to, foul balls off and he threw 29 pitches in that first inning and didn't really struggle the rest of the way. He gave up some runs, but he actually didn't pitch terrible. He just was out of sync.
Yeah.
If he syncs back up, if they win today and he syncs back up pitching on 4 days rest.
Yeah.
It's
over
in Dodger Stadium, then it's possibly over. So that's why it's a huge game. If they can steal a win and even get beat up by Snell, they're back in Toronto.
Yeah.
They're back.
I want to see some games in Toronto. I want to see that place.
They're back with Canadian jamon.
Oh, I want to see a game 7. A game 7. Shohei wouldn't pitch.
No,
but he'd come in late.
Oh, he would come in.
Come in late if he had to.
He would come in.
Oh, I want to see that.
So I will tell you this: that they're watching the World Series. I'm in awe every single fall when I watch the World Series because it's hard for me to wrap my head around. This is the World Series, and there's a lot of moments in every World Series in a couple of the games where I'm like, holy crap, this is the World Series. Last night had one of those moments when Roberts threw Clayton Kershaw out there.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
With the bases loaded.
I got goosebumps watching him walk out to the mound. I was just like, holy crap.
When I got goosebumps? It wasn't when he walked out to the mound, Timmy. It was when they panned on Sandy Koufax in the stands. And they put Sandy Koufax, the greatest lefty ever in the history of Dodgers, arguably one of the greatest lefty of all time, if it weren't for his elbow injuries that cost him the rest of his career. I'm looking at that man because I know how impactful. I've had the pleasure of actually getting to meet him a couple of times just to say hello. But he's such an impact. He's like a quiet storm in MLB because he's not out there all the time. You don't hear him talking like Reggie and some of these other guys. But he is like the demigod of baseball. Yeah. So when I saw that,
especially for the Dodgers,
and also, oh, by the way, his last appearance as in uniform was in a World Series.
Yeah.
So you have Clayton Kershaw. This is it for him.
Yeah.
That might have been the last time Kershaw goes to baseball.
Yeah.
If they go on and win a couple of games.
Classic weak contact, too.
Yeah.
Quick dribbler to second base.
Yes. Well,
classic.
But here was the thing.
He
ran the count full.
Yeah.
So
drama.
Ball 4.
You got to have drama.
Yeah, it was drama filled, bro.
Oh my God!
And then at that point,
I gotta go watch the moments I missed.
Tim, at that point, don't you think when he got that dribbler? Oh, by the way, phenomenal play by Edmonds on that.
Yeah,
really good play
because Lucas can fly from the left
he's not
side.
Gonna get him,
and boom, he shovels it. And then aren't you thinking, oh, this game is over? It's the bottom of the 12th. They got it. 6 more innings, dude.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
This
is, as Tim Kirchin with his cracked voice would go, this is crazy. Craziest thing I've ever seen.
Oh, my God. All right. So Big O is going to do another show here coming up at 12:30. We'll get even more into the World Series. We'll hit some Rays stuff as well. And we have a special guest.
Yeah, we do. We got my buddy and Tampa legend of so many Tampa legend baseball players. Mike Heath is going to come on, former
A's catcher,
Yankees catcher.
That's how I remember him.
Tigers catcher.
Yeah.
So we can talk a little bit about how it is to be behind the plate at that level and what to do with Shohei Ohtani.
Walk him, deport him.
Oh wow!
The Jays need an ice agent
that visa.
Hey, wasn't Heath on that 78 Yankees team?
No, he was up in 79. He didn't. No, he missed
he missed the World Series. Okay,
he missed that World Series.
Thinking he was. Okay.
All right, thank you, Timmy. Appreciate you.
You're
Thank you to Scott Reynolds, who joined us today. Dropped a couple F-bombs. Nicely done.
Hey.
TJ Rives as well, confirming there was no whistle. There was, and there was a shooter on the grassy knoll. And thank you guys for joining us. Sorry we didn't get to all of your comments here today. They were fantastic. But join us at 12:30 for the O Show, and we will see you tomorrow.